Yeah, I mean, there's not really that much. Like that's kind of the
No
basic.
worries. Okay. Someone, are you okay with answering questions and just talking?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
100%.
okay. Um, so like what made you go into the sports industry? Were you always into sports? Like what was it for you that wanted you to be like, okay, like I want to do that?
So yeah, growing up, I was always around sports, like more specifically like basketball, and I knew a few people who were doing the sport management program, and I started looking into it more, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And like once I learned more about it, I was like, it's not. There's more to it than just being like a general manager, like or like a journalist or reporter. There's so much more that goes into the sport industry, and that's what like I really enjoy. Also, like I just always, even though I know I'm not going to be able to play basketball for that long, so I would just love to just like still be in that environment. So that's kind of why I chose to work towards like the sport industry.
Wow, that was great. That's kind of where I'm at too as well, because I know some people who are in sports industries or sports management try to get as much information as you can, so in the future, okay, what to expect. So that's amazing. Okay, so um I've looked at your Instagram, and everything. How is it having your own brand? That must be amazing. Did you start that? What made you start it? I looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to buy one now. But what made you go like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna make my own brand.
So it started in 12th grade, so like about 2 years ago. Um, my uncle was like, because he's an artist, he just draws and stuff like that. So he draw me a little logo, and I was like, that's so cool, like all that. And he also like did a few shirts just for fun and everything. And then he was like, I'm gonna put it on a shirt, and you can wear it. So he gave it to me, and I was like, no, I was like, this is like sick. I was like, we should start selling it. Like make a few dollars off of it, see how it goes, and just like because it'd be pretty cool just to have like people walk around wearing that. I'm like, that's like my brand. So it kind of started with my uncle, so I give him like a lot of props for that. So it kind of just started off like that. Like he made the logo, and I was like, yeah, we should totally just start selling it, see where it goes. So that's kind of just how that started up.
Wow, that's crazy. And obviously, it looks like you have been in success with it. And don't worry, I'm gonna buy something right after this meeting. Um, so, what is your biggest motivation as an athlete? As a leader, what motivates you every day to continue to work and to get like just continue to better yourself as an athlete and as a person?
Obviously, just a bunch of inspirations around me, like fellow athletes. So, such as like one of my biggest inspirations is Kobe Bryant, and yeah, so sad that he's not here with us anymore. But yeah, he was most definitely someone I really looked up to when I was younger. Currently, someone in the game who I love, like their game so much, is John Morant. Yeah, he's amazing. um,
Love it.
but like growing up, I guess like someone who also just inspired me a lot was like my dad, because he was also my coach and my trainer. So he was always the one like kind of helping me put like extra hours into the gym, and like helping me find gym time, helping me work on my game, and like most definitely one of my biggest like motivations.
That's amazing. Kobe Bryant was mine too. So I understand that. And I love how, your dad helped you throughout everything because I know like friends of mine, when you have an adult, like your own parent to do it with, I know sometimes it could get hard and sometimes it's easy. So that's amazing that, your dad saw what you wanted as well.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so like were you ever around boys or were you always around girls?
So when I first started playing basketball, I was around like 5. And when we first started, I played co-ed. So I started off with like boys and girls, and I did that until like probably like the 7th grade, or like no, like the 9th grade. Yeah, I did that until the 9th grade. And then I guess once high school hit, that's kind of where obviously like the co-ed stuff wasn't really like around anymore. So yeah, I've just growing up, I've just always been playing with guys.
That's great. Okay, so you have your own brand. You're dominating on the court. you're going to college, you're doing sports management. What's your goal in life? Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do?
That's a really good question. Obviously, I'm still kind of like thinking about it, but like if we had to talk career wise, I most definitely want to work in sports, and I want to start off with like maybe just like digital marketing, and then like there's social media marketing. Find like a small little like sport organization and build up from there, and then make my way up to like game day operations and hope that I can work for like the Raptors or like some NBA team. And then after that, maybe just like as a side hustle kind of, to open up my own like facility, like basketball court wise. Like you've seen those like basketball courts or facilities that have like 5 basketball courts in them.
Yes, it's
I
insane. But
want
it's
to
like
do
so
one of those. Yeah.
fast for us athletes. Like it's like you never want to leave. That's amazing. That's really good. Well, you better do it. Don't let anyone
Yeah.
you got it. Okay, so what do you think has to change and improve for women's sports to get noticed more?
I honestly think just like media coverage, honestly, because if you do look at it, just comparing the WNBA and the NBA, you'll find a lot more media coverage and media sources on NBA stuff than you do WNBA. So if that can just like media coverage, broadcasting rights, all that, if that can start building up, then most definitely women sports will be on a rise. I mean, it is getting better throughout the years, but like if we could just like if the it can match, then like totally different.
Wow, that was a good answer. Oh, and if you catch me looking down, I'm noting everything. So like whatever you say, I'm noting it down so it could help me because obviously you're like you're already doing it. Okay, so what is the biggest challenge you faced as a leader?
Um, I feel like probably as of like right now, I think the biggest challenge is like the whole pandemic thing. It's
Hmm.
just like trying to keep the team together, keep us all engaged still, because obviously we're not seeing each other as much as we did last year, like 5 times, 6 times a week. So it's kind of just like getting the team still engaged, making sure everyone's still on top of their stuff, like training wise and school wise as well, though.
That's great. Um, how would you describe yourself as an athlete for the younger girls who look up to you?
I would describe myself as very hardworking. I think growing up, I wasn't always like the best player. I honestly think I just started getting better like halfway through high school, but it was really just how hard I wanted it, like how determined I was to get to like play college basketball. So honestly, it's kind of if I had to tell younger girls a piece of advice is just to work hard. Don't let anyone stop you. Really, just if you really want it, you will really work for it.
I like the definition of hard work. Um, so what's your worth ethic like? I've seen on your Instagram, well, I sound like a stalker, huh? I've seen how you work out, you go to facilities, you work out, you grind. Are you still doing that now? And how has that improved throughout the days?
Um, so because right now where I am, a lot of things are closed down. So like obviously don't have like that easy access to like the gyms anymore. So I try my best to just like do at home workouts, and one of my teammates have been like providing us with workout plans. So like I'm really grateful for that. So I've been doing those, doing a couple of just like YouTube workouts, just ball handling workouts. When it wasn't snowing and it wasn't horrible weather outside, I would just go to like local like outdoor nets courts and just like work there.
That's great. I didn't know you guys were on lockdown right now, actually. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it sucks.
yeah, it was. The whole theme just sucks.
Uh,
Um, what's your biggest failure as an athlete?
My biggest failure as an athlete. That's a good question. Honestly, I would just say This is something that just like I do a lot personally, and it's like just kind of like getting down on myself a lot to the point where I'm just like, oh, sometimes I think to myself and I'm like, oh, do I even want to still play basketball? Like, I'll have like a bad game and I'll be like, do I really still want to play? But then at the end of the day, those days, those games kind of just pushed me to be like, no, this is like just a little step back and just get back into the gym and work on it. So I guess like a big failure of mine is kind of just like giving up on myself sometimes.
Wow, yeah, that's me too. Like when people tell me after a game, "Oh, you did good," I was like, "No, I didn't. Like I scored this amount of points, got this amount of rebounds." Like, but that's good that you're hard on yourself because that just shows the kind of person you are. You know, you're never satisfied, and that's amazing.
No.
Um, so like, what advice would you give someone who wants to pursue the same career similar to yours?
Honestly, biggest piece of advice, whether that's in the career I want to go to and just in general, is networking. If you can network and just message people, get to know people, let people know your name, let them know you're interested, that will help you so much. Like because of this pandemic, I have never networked so much before, and it's been helping me so much. So honestly, it's never too early or too late to network. So all I can say is if you can, just go shoot an email, go shoot a DM, like anything.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've been doing too. Oh,
Yeah.
it really does make a difference. Just one message, and it's great. Um, oh, I have a lot of questions. Sorry. Okay.
Or,
Um, how many points do you average in a game?
in a game from last year's stats, I averaged 10.1, I think. Yeah.
Okay, no. Were you ever treated differently throughout, like, like your basketball career? Were you ever looked at differently in your basketball career?
I guess growing up, not from like my coaches, but from like outsiders, sometimes people would like doubt me just because like they'd be like, oh, she gets a lot of playing time because her dad's a coach, or oh, she got the MVP because her dad's a coach or whatever. And like that's kind of something that just I've always had to deal with. But like honestly, I stopped caring about what like the outsiders have to say because at the end of the day, it's like, no, I'm playing a lot because like I deserve to. I worked hard. I worked hard to get to where I am. So it's not just because my dad is the coach.
Wow, so your dad's your coach. That's
Yeah, like when like my younger years and like my rep years, my dad coached me.
jeez, that's crazy. Okay. As a female athlete, when you see women in certain sports positions, what do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
As an athlete, when you see certain women in certain sports positions on TV or broadcasting, what do you think to yourself?
I love it. Like I love seeing women empowerment in sports. Like honestly, like they do not get that much recognition that they deserve, but it's truly inspiring. Like I love seeing female reporters, like broadcasters, just anything. Like I love it. It's great.
Uh, it really is because it gives us like that motivation, like I could do that too. She's doing it, I could do that too, and I think the most important thing is you get to wake up and you get to do what you love, and you get to make your town, your city, your family proud, and I think that's very important. That's that's great. That's great. You're good. Um. Okay. Okay. So like in sports management, when did you start, and how has it ever? Did you ever look at it as, like this is something different? Is something were you expecting anything different from the beginning of sports management?
Oh, so okay. I started last year and I would say it's a lot of hard work. Is much more harder work than I thought it was gonna be, but I think it's really good. Like everything they're teaching you is really actually getting you ready for like the next level. Especially on my second year, like what I'm currently in right now, like I feel like all these courses that I'm learning, like I have like event management, like all that type of stuff, and I think it's really useful to like, especially for what I want to go into. I think like all these courses are actually helping you build up and get ready to like move on to like the workplace.
Has sports management, has it opened any doors for you already or not yet?
I would say it most definitely has because a lot of my profs do know a lot of like different like organizations. So just by like messaging them about stuff that I'm interested in, they would like just like mention my name if anything ever comes up. Or there have been a lot of like sport management Zooms, like seminars, webinars that I've attended, and I think those have like opened a lot of doors for me.
That's crazy. Okay. Okay. Besides basketball, did you ever look at another sport a certain way, or was it just always basketball? You knew you wanted to do it from the start. You wanted to, you obviously you went into high school, you wanted the best, and you got better. You were a hard worker. Did your plans ever change midway, or was it just always basketball?
Honestly, growing up, my whole like household, my whole family is really basketball oriented. So I guess like I kind of just knew that like I was destined to play basketball. In like my younger years, like eighth grade, seventh grade, all that. I played like volleyball in school, but like it was still something that I was kind of like, oh, I'm just playing. It was never like, oh, like I have a love and passion for this game. So honestly, it was really just straight basketball from the start.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, over here, I have four brothers, so like they're all wrestlers. And when I started basketball, I was like, yeah, I'll stick to basketball. Kobe Bryant was my idol, so it's like he's the reason
Yeah.
why I picked up a ball. His work ethic was just crazy. So that's
Oh yeah.
crazy. So, do you have any brothers or sisters, or are you just like the
Uh,
only child?
so I have an older brother.
Oh, you have an older brother. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I have four. It's crazy. Um, so how would you describe yourself? Were you would you how would you describe yourself like in differentiation wise? Like, were you ever different? Were you a different athlete? Were you a different person? Like, how would you act in teams and to yourself?
I would most definitely say I am a pretty different person because I was always like known as like a leader on the court, and the thing is like I'm kind of pretty introverted. So I'd be kind of shy at first, or sometimes I'd be like, oh, like I'm too like scared to say something. But like honestly, over the years, I've started to like get better at that. Um, so especially last year, because I was a freshman last year, and my coach wanted me obviously to like kind of step up and like say things and like lead the team, but like I'd kind of be too shy because I'm like, I don't know, I'm like a rookie. But like I think honestly, as I grow older and as I watch like obviously like watching like Kobe and all these like big leaders, I'm like honestly like I should just start voicing my opinion. Like,
Right, right. Every leader should. Oh
yeah.
wow. Like, um. So like, what has been like your best experience throughout everything? High school, college. What's your best experience?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I think I have a few actually. I think recently was most definitely my like freshman year, although like my team didn't really like have the standings or we didn't finish the way we would have pleased. Like I think just as like a first year, I think it was a really good like learning opportunity for me just to like feel the game and just like see how it is, especially because it's my first year ever playing like that high of a level of basketball. I think that was most definitely a amazing opportunity. that I got to experience, and my coach was like helping me with every like step of the way. So I feel like that was most definitely a really big experience for me.
Um, okay. Oh yeah. So back to your brand. Okay. So you started your brand obviously because of your uncle. When did you
Mhm.
start to notice? Okay, like a lot of people started buying it. At first when you thought, okay, like we could probably make some money. When did you think like, oh snap? Okay, it's getting a little more serious. Has your brand like opened barriers for you? Has it like contacted you with more people? Like what has it done for you?
It has most definitely opened a lot of more doors for me. I think when I just first like posted it out, I really thought no one was. I thought it was just going to be like a few people that I know, like maybe my cousins, like just like hey, like I'd like to buy one. So when I first posted it out, I wasn't really. I was expecting like 4 to 5 orders maybe, and I think I racked up probably a good like 15. I was really surprised. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. Because I like a little bit, and then the problem was like I kind of started just getting busy with school because I started at, like the end of 12th grade. So
Mm.
like having graduation and then like all like I had to get ready to like for college and everything. So I kind of like took a break from it for like a year, and I just started reselling it like last month or 2 months ago. And ever since then, like I've been getting a lot more like recognition. Like it's not just like people buying it just like in Ontario or just like in Canada. Like I've had people from like the US say they wanted to buy some. So like honestly it's a growing brand, and I'm like pretty like surprised on like how much it's like reaching to everywhere, and I'm really blessed that it's really being noticed.
Yes, definitely is. Okay, so like, would you ever put like shorts, headbands, sleeves? Like, would you ever put other stuff on your clothing line?
Yeah, I want to start producing more because I'm kind of just like the basic shirt, hoodie, all that. But I want to start doing like jogging pants, shorts. I want to do like shooting shirts, so like the dry fit type material, kind of like the Under Armour ones. Kind of want to start producing those because I know my like kind of demographic is like obviously mainly people who like sports, like playing basketball. So if I
Right,
can get like
right.
a lot of those like dry fit basketball shorts, maybe like elite socks, then like it'll like start going a lot more.
Yeah, I definitely would, and it very is. Okay, so like having your own brand, how does it feel seeing like people like tag you on certain things wearing your brand? Like that must be amazing because like you're seeing these people, these kids wearing your own brand. That's something you created and something you just started. How does it feel?
It's honestly amazing, and it's like crazy to think about it. Like sometimes I'm just like, yeah, like because I remember I was like dropping off because like I was like dropping them off to like a few local people around me, and I was like talking to one of my friends, and he's like, it's crazy, you literally have your own brand. And sometimes I forget how like big that is because I'm just like, yeah, like it's just a shirt, like it's just a sweater, like it's not that serious. And then I really think about it, and I see people like posting it, and they're like, thanks for this. And like a lot of people are contacting me like saying like, I want to buy one, like where can I buy one or how do I order? And I'm just like, oh wow, like this is like it's big. Like it's an
Yeah,
actual thing.
yeah, it definitely is. Because I had seen Aaliyah Foncelli even get one. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, yo, like this girl, like that's crazy how you even started it because you didn't rely on anyone. You were like, you know what, let's do it. And if it
Mhm.
goes big, it goes big.
Exactly.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, I have a lot of questions. Sorry. Okay, so in sports management, um, did you ever get to choose your classes, or were you just like, okay, I'm gonna do sports management and whatever I get, I get.
So yeah, for what how my program is they kind of just like choose our programs for us, and then each year we have one elective. So then, yeah, we just get to choose whatever elective we want. But other than that, like all our programs are kind of like set in stone that they want us to like obviously do because it's like it's courses that contain a lot of information that we would need in order if we wanted to like work in the sports industry in the future.
I mean, that's great. That's great. Have you ever experienced, from sports management to now, have you ever experienced any sports industry moments where you got to go backstage, talk to, a person who you want to be in their position as well, or has anything happened like that?
Yeah, I would say I haven't obviously been able to go anywhere like physically because of the whole COVID thing, but just like a bunch of these like webinars going on, especially the ones that Aaliyah has been doing. I've been able to like meet a lot of new people off of it that are like doing stuff that I want to do. So then I go ahead and contact them and just be like, hey, like I'm interested in what you're doing. Like I'd love to connect and just talk to you about it. So that's kind of one way that, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You could talk. Uh, okay. Okay. Um, so obviously you started in high school basketball and now you're in college. And so basketball, do you see it going further or do you just want to be in the sports industry and let go of basketball?
So I still haven't really made my mind up yet, but I kind of still debating because next year is my last year. I'm debating if I want to like bridge into like university and play basketball there and just get like my sport management degree in university, or if I want to like go play like in the States and then like move on to like pro or something. I still haven't really debated on it yet. But if that doesn't happen, then I still see myself working in sports alongside with basketball.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so obviously you want to have your own, your place with basketball gyms and you just want to have your clothing brand. What made you want to do that? Did you wake up one day and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, or I want to do this, or did it take like years for you to understand, like, you know what, basketball is something that means a lot to me, and I want to continue it, and give the opportunity to younger kids and younger girls that they could do anything in life.
Yeah, so growing up, because my dad is a coach, I've always like worked alongside with him. So I'd always help him train like the younger kids. And like as I was doing that, I was like, wow, I really would love to just like train and like coach for fun too. And there were like certain times where people have told me like, oh, you'd be a really good coach or you'd be a really good trainer. So I guess like building up to like these all these years, I kind of was like, I want to do something alongside with coaching and training, but also making a little more money than just like the minimum like training amount or whatever. So that's when I was kind of like one day I was like, I should just build my own court because like around me there has been like a few small courts just like that people can rent out for like 1 or 2 hours and just do like either pickup runs or training. And I was like, I kind of want to do that. So like I know I want to make my own like court or facility and then let people rent it out or let me like on certain hours like I host my own training for like younger kids.
Wow, that's great. You have everything planned out. You have like a plan A through like Z. That's amazing. That is very good because not a lot of people have that mindset. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, so have you ever noticed younger girls or and like younger guys even like looking up to you? And when they're looking up to you, do you ever get like that message? Do you ever get like them talking to you and say, you know what, you inspire me, or you know what, I want to be you someday, or how do I get better? And how do you feel after they tell you something like that?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say throughout the years, I have gotten a few, just like guys and girls saying like, I really love the way you play. Like I've seen you play. Like it's really inspiring. Like I really look up to you, and like getting all those messages, like it just makes me so like, I don't really know how to describe it. Like it makes me really happy. Like I feel really like heartfelt because it's like, wow, like people are really seeing my like hard work. Like maybe my hard work is actually paying off, and like it just like keeps me it most definitely keeps me motivated to keep on going because I'm like, listen, like these people are looking up to you, so like why would you want to quit now? Like, you know, give them a reason to continue to look up to you, like inspire them, motivate them, and all that.
Yes, yes, I love it. You're doing great work. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, if you want to ask me something, go ahead. I'm just gonna be reading them like a lot.
Oh
To
yeah, no worries.
um, wait. So like, where do you live? Are you like in the China, like over there, like far, or like where do you live?
So I live like so I live in Canada and in Ontario, and I live near like Niagara Falls area.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Because I seen on your your Instagram it had like words like of the city or like state, and I was
Oh
like, okay, like how do I say that? Like I wouldn't know, but yeah, I had seen Canada and everything. So wow, okay, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here in Brawley, so it's like you won't know. Trust me, it's like
Okay.
the hottest freaking place. Like freaking small town, everything. Okay. Okay. So obviously you grow up in that area. Um, were you ever like, did you ever think like, I can't make it? Did you ever have that mindset like of doubt? Like, you know what, maybe it's not for me. Like, because you have athletes who are like so down on themselves that's like, you know what, maybe I can't get the scholarship, maybe I can't leave where I come from, maybe I can't pursue the dreams. Did you ever have an doubt that you couldn't do it?
Oh yeah, and sometimes I still have that doubt. Honestly, yeah, growing up, because I wasn't always like the tallest person, especially just during high school. I hit my growth spurt pretty early, so when I was playing like co-ed, I would always play like a power forward or like a 3 or 4 position. But then obviously, like everyone started catching up to my height. I stopped growing. Like I capped at 5'2", so I stopped growing, and like I guess like a big struggle was kind of learning how to play the point guard position because I wasn't used to ever bringing down the ball. Like that was never my job. So I guess like once I had to like kind of teach myself or like learn how to start handling the ball and everything and figure out what would be my specialty, I guess. Um, but most definitely, I did have a few doubts, especially because of my height. I would never expect to actually be playing like college basketball, let alone get like a scholarship for playing. Like it is crazy.
Yeah, we certainly did too. Um, okay, so it's like a personal question. Well, not really, but so your idol's Kobe Bryant. Did you ever try to match his work ethics, whether it be shooting, eating, waking up at 4 in the morning to midnight? Like, did you ever try to match him and his mindset?
Most definitely, I would say I'd try having that like mama mentality. I try getting down his like post moves, but like also like I'm never really in that area, so I yeah, but most definitely just like his mentality itself, like kind of just like he doesn't let anything like bring him down. Like he always sees like a light at the end of the tunnel, and like he always works hard. Like he doesn't let injuries get to him. He's always just on top of his game. So I would most definitely say that.
When men support women, whether it be athletes, male athletes supporting women athletes, what do you feel about that? What do you think about like certain, you know, genders treating other genders in that area?
I think I love when I see like men support female athletes or like females in the sport industry. I think it should happen a lot more, um, because a lot of like a lot of females do go unrecognized that deserve a lot more kind of like spotlight than they get. So when I see all these male like whether they're like male athletes or male people working in the sport industry, and I see them supporting females, like female athletes or females in the sports. Like I love it.
Yeah, I think it's very important that males do that. I love like men who do that or like boys our age who do that because I think it's very important.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so throughout your career, throughout your basketball journey, did anyone try to bring you down? Did anyone tell you, you couldn't do it? Like, and if they did, what was going through your mind when they did?
Um, I have had a few people tell me that like, oh, like you're not really that good, or like you only play because your dad's coaching you, or just stuff like that. And honestly, like sometimes I would look at it and just like obviously I get a little down on myself and be like, maybe they're right. Like I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be playing anymore. But like at the end of the day, it's like I love this game and I will continue to work hard and continue to play no matter how many people try bringing me down, because that's just how much love I have for the game of basketball.
That's a good word. Um, okay, so playing games as an athlete in basketball, were you ever obviously it took you like you were always like the shy one keeping it in. What made you like did anything help you become the leader that you are today?
I would say most definitely just watching a lot of leadership videos and just getting comfortable with my team, honestly. Because if I feel like I was comfortable with my team, then I felt comfortable speaking. So I guess like one big thing was just watching like motivational leadership videos whenever I can, whether that's like Kobe's or just like anyone, like literally anyone, and just like listen to that and be like, wow, this is great.
That's awesome. Yes. I would always like wake up and listen to Kobe Bryant, motivation videos because I think that helped in a big way.
Oh
And
yeah, 100%.
yeah. Okay, so after a big game, after like a big loss or you thought you played horrible, what was going through your mind? Were you ever like, okay, like I'm gonna just go back to the gym, or did you cry about it and just like were you so hard on yourself that you didn't do anything? Did you go back to the gym? Did you look back on the film? Like what did you do as an athlete?
So always after a game, whether it's like a good or a bad game, I always just like watching my game film and kind of just like studying that. Most definitely, I would get down on myself and be like, oh, like, how did you miss that shot? Or like, why didn't you like, because obviously watching yourself play and actually playing is so different. Because then I see so much, I'm just like, oh, why did I do that? I could have done this. Or like, why, like, all that type of stuff. So I most definitely do get hard on myself to points where I'm just like, I kind of just want to rest for a day or something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, like, after watching myself mess up that many times, I'm like, I want to get back onto the court and just fix that. So that's most definitely something I do after a game.
That's great. Okay. Okay, so for us as female athletes and the next generation behind us, what do you think has to change to better women empowerment?
Honestly, I could just say is just for girls not to be like shy or like always also just keep like an open mind. Like if they want to pursue stuff in sports, and if there are guys saying but girls can't do that or girls shouldn't be doing that, they should be like chefs or whatever. Like honestly just don't let that get to you. Like do what you want to do and like work hard to get where you want to work. And honestly I think like one thing too, like what I said before, is just like just the media awareness. If you can just like get your name and get your brand or get yourself out there more for more people to see, and just like also just like helping each other out, like realistically, that's what I think.
It's great. Um, I know, like I keep going switching off to certain topics. Okay, so for sports management, have you had the opportunity to meet different people with your interests, and has that lead to other open doors, or just like having the opportunity to meet them and just talking to him, hey, like what advice or what should I improve on? Have you experienced this? Has that helped you in any way?
Oh yeah, 100%. Just like getting like myself out there and like talking to people who work in a similar type of industry that I want to work in and getting to know how they came along their journey and what they did is like so beneficial, especially with Aaliyah. Like ever since I started talking to Aaliyah, I've learned so much. Like she has helped me so much because she obviously she works in the sports industry and she's kind of in like a position that I want to be in. So like just talking to her, asking her for some advice, or just getting to know how like getting to know her building steps to where she is now is kind of just like I like love that.
Yeah, Leah has definitely done it. I mean, her Zoom calls, like you get to meet different people in the different like environments in the sports industry. So I think that helps us for like the next generation as well. Wow, that's good.
100%.
Um, okay, let's see. So like talking about like personal wise now, um, how has your brother been, with you wanting to do, open your own thing, starting your own brand? How has he, influenced you into you doing it now? Was he very supportive? How was he?
Honestly, yeah, he's kind of like one of those that will just like support me no matter what type thing. So yeah, he's got like a couple of like my shirts and everything. So he's most definitely been someone who's just like kind of who like cares about me and just like supports me through that too.
Okay. So obviously you have a brother, and so throughout your career in high school and elementary school years, were you ever just always around, like, did you have certain female friends who wanted the same thing as you did, or was it just mostly boys and you just had to be like the only girl there and just like go with the flow?
Honestly, I'd say my friend groups are pretty like versatile, I guess. Like I had a bunch of like female friends and a bunch of male friends that were just like all kind of into the same thing. Like most of my female friends were like people who like basketball as well. Most of my male friends are like guys who like basketball as well. Um, but I guess I haven't really like until I got to like college, I'd say, haven't really met any like females that were kind of into the same like industry as I am. Like I was like the first of like my female friend group who wanted to work in like sports. So, but once I got into college, I met like so many other females that are interested in the same thing, and I'm just like, wow, at least I'm not the only one. Like,
No, yeah, it's crazy because you want to surround yourself with people who want the same thing as you, or like who don't bring you down. And when you look back at it, it's like, wow, like me out of like how many people wanted it. And like, so I think going into the sports industry, you get to meet a lot of people. And what I've learned talking to like a lot of people is there's always room for someone. So let's say you want to do media coverage or you want to, be reporting, you're gonna find something you want to do. And no matter what, you might have the crappiest job there and you gotta work for what you want. And I think that's very important. So wow,
yeah,
that's
'cause- yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just like how much you really want it. Like, you got to start from like somewhere, right? So, yeah.
no, yeah, definitely. And I think we're doing great. I mean, you have your own brand, you're doing your own thing, you're in college. So you're starting. I'm an 18-year-old senior, so it's like the world is yours. You got to work for what you want, and you just got to make it happen.
Exactly, because I think at the end of the day, if you want it, you want it. And yeah.
Yes, and like I don't see any other career more exciting than sports. Obviously a person who doesn't like sports, I don't know how they do that, but I think sports is just something so amazing because
Mhm.
you're talking about what you love, and it's just amazing overall. Um,
I,
Go ahead.
I don't know, I just said I agree.
Oh yeah. Um, okay, so what made you want to like you want to do media coverage, right?
Yeah.
So what made you choose that out of everything you could do in the sports industry?
Okay, so as like another side hustle thing, I do like videography and like like mixtapes, I guess. Like if you see and like those types of stuff. Yeah. I just have an Instagram page. I haven't been able to do a lot, obviously, because like everything that's happening right now. But before, I would just like go to people's games and just like record them and then edit it and then post it and then make a few dollars off of that. So I kind of just, especially because I like being on social media. So being able to like kind of like manage a team's like social media account, like I have like so many ideas, like I have experiences, like I run like that basketball mixtape account. I do content for this Instagram called the Sports POV. I run our like varsity girls basketball team like account. So it's just like I have a lot of like background on like running those type of accounts and making edits, or like whether that's like pictures or videos. So that's kind of why I want to get in like the digital marketing for like sports and all that.
Wow, that is crazy. Oh, I did not know you made videos, do pictures. Wow. So you're just a girl who could just do it all, aren't you? Wow, that is amazing. But the difference is you work hard. And now a lot of people have that mindset, like, okay, like, let's do it, you know. So wow, that's amazing. I thought I had enough questions, but I guess I didn't. I wrote down like a whole page and I already asked you everything. Um, but yeah, that's amazing. I mean, your whole story, like, is just crazy. Like, I'm just like amazed because you're still young, like you're just starting, it's your second year and you've already accomplished so many things. So you should be proud of yourself. But knowing you, you're probably like never satisfied. And that's a good thing. Like Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant, never satisfied, that's amazing. And yeah, this has been great. I really hope you enjoyed this as well.
Oh yeah, thank you. I really everything I'm doing, like all of these interviews and just like reaching out, like it's amazing. Like honestly, keep doing it because
Yeah, like it's been great, like, cause like I wasn't sure on starting the whole page, cause like I could barely manage my page, So I was like, okay, like I think the most important thing is, like for you, you have like two pages, right? So I think, we always focus on followers, but I think the most important thing is just one follower, you're already changing someone's life. You're already helping someone who has like the same ambition or who wants to see you succeed. So I think, we have to be, less hard on ourselves, but knowing us, we're never gonna just be like, okay, like I'm satisfied, But wow, that was awesome. Like that was amazing. And yeah, like make sure on the time too, because I know like you're like before, because it's like noon right now for us, so it's like evening for you guys.
oh yeah, it's like 4:20.
Yeah, so yeah, I was like, okay, 3 hours, and I had to like do like the whole thing. I was like, okay, wow, that's great. Do you have any questions for me or anything you want to say? Like, if not, like it's totally
Um, my question is, why did you want to start doing what you're doing?
fine. Why did I want? Okay, so at first, this wasn't my plan. My plan since elementary school was get a basketball scholarship and get out of here. Like this was not my plan, Like I was like dipping. 17, I would go to college, peace, But and then when sports has always been into my life. Like I grew up with brothers, So um, woman empowerment really got started for me like a little after like last year, like it got like okay, like so I just started to see like certain things I didn't like the women pay for like the soccer team compared to the men's team, like that's certain things that so I was like, okay, like but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to do anything until I met Aaliyah, and I didn't even know her. My cousin had sent me a video of her and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna just message her and I had set up a meeting with her and I had thrown out like on Instagram, hey, if any women or men want to join, go ahead. And I didn't even know, I was like expecting 5 people, 40 people came to that one meeting that I hosted. I was like, holy chalupa, like I just did that, But I think like for me, it's like having the opportunities to just to talk to them because in life, like you don't know where you're gonna end up. So I mean, just giving that one message out, like, hey, like I love what you're doing, like I want the same thing. Can you help me? I think that goes a long way. And I just want to see women succeed. I want to see women get paid more, treated better in the sports industry. And it's sad because not a lot of women, you don't have a lot of women to choose from. There's only a certain amount of women in UFC, in soccer. And it's sad because you want to like motivate them to keep going. Like you could do it. Like just keep doing it. So I think that's what really got me started. And I never really recorded like the Zoom calls before like until like my last meeting because like before I would just like engage, like I wouldn't worry about Zoom recording, but I thought like, okay, maybe if I Zoom record I could give this out to like my Instagram and say, oh, what we talked about, she helped me with this. And from there, like the word just gets out. So I think just seeing how women have been getting paid or treated like during the years I've seen them, I think that's what really inspired me to be like, okay, like we need to change. Like yeah, we're a different gender, we're women, but we could do so much things. Like yeah, like men are stronger than us, but we could do it. Like give me a mic, give me a paper, like let's go, So I think that's really like just just like we could do it. We could really do this, and it just takes one person or a handful of females to deal with the same thing you want.
Yeah, honestly, like I think what you're doing is great and it is going a long way. Like whether or not you have a lot of like a big following or not, like I think just like having interviews or reaching out to as many people as you can is just amazing and like it's most definitely going to pay off. Like you're most definitely making a change, whether that's big or small, like you're making a difference and that's great.
No, yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's just like you want to represent where you come from. You want to represent your family, yourself, and I think we could do it. As I mean, obviously, you have a huge future ahead of you, without a doubt. Keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, just like knowing you, honestly, like my gosh, like you're gonna work for what you want, um, and no one's gonna tell you no. So that's great for me. Like
Say I could say the same as you. Like honestly, like I could tell that you're a really hard worker and that you will work until you cannot anymore. And like I honestly love that. Like your work ethic is amazing.
Yeah, like, cause I remember, like, cause like when I message people, you have to look at what they do, and then like you have to like research them and see like, okay, what do you do? How do I message them? How do I engage them to like, cause I'm just a girl, like. They're probably thinking like, what the hell? Like, who's this girl who just messaged me, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what all of them think, right? Until like they read the message, like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I think that one
Mhm.
message can really open opportunities for us and for you, and it's just
100.
it's just crazy. And
Yeah.
so yeah, anything you need, or obviously you have my Instagram, and thank you for meeting me. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for responding. I have enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it. And anything you need or any questions, just let me know.
Yep, no worries. Thanks for like contacting me and having me out. Like this is really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. And obviously, yeah, if you have anything, like if you want to schedule another one or just want to talk and like whatever, like you can honestly DM me whenever. I'm be down for it 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.